Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How's everybody doing? Good evening. Welcome to Dark FOMO. Yes, this is when FOMO is after dark and we go IRL. We do a lot of stuff on this channel like this, and so if you're not subscribed, clearly you're not hearing about it probably because the broadcast won't get out to you unless you are subscribed, and maybe you fell across it. Luckily, I don't know. But if you're here now, congratulations. We're going to talk about Jekyll Island tonight, and we're going to do a Wawa cannonball run, I guess we could call it, something like that. You know, there's this thing called like the cannonball run, I think, and I first learned about it through Kim.com many moons ago. And if you don't know who Kim.com is, you can look him up. I'll give you a brief overview. He does a lot of stuff with Mario Awful now, and Elon Musk when it comes to like the Twitter files and whatnot. But he's like this old school hacker from, I don't know, I guess he really made his bones in the years like 2000s and 90s. And I think he's probably around the age of like maybe mid 40s, early 50s, something like that. He's between 40 and early 50s. I don't think he's any younger than 40 years old. I think he was probably a 70s kid that was born in the 70s or whatnot. But Kim.com, he used to, he got tied up in mega uploads. I don't know if you guys ever heard of mega uploads, but he moved to New Zealand and thought he would find, freedom and peace there and whatever. And it seems like the long arm of the law followed him all the way there. And what he was accused of doing was essentially sharing copywritten material around the internet using his mega upload site. And for that, they really came down hard on him and took, I guess, most of what he had, most of what he's made. And, you know, I don't know if it was legit or whatever. I don't really know what the court case is going on at this point. But from what I gather, I mean, he doesn't seem to be hurting too bad because he's still got his nice homes and, you know, he's got his nice this, that, and the other thing. But they followed him halfway across the world because he had some servers that were in the Estados Unidos, and they ultimately shut down his mega uploads, I believe, and seized his money and blah, 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 blah. And he's still fighting like extradition and whatnot. I guess as long as he stays in New Zealand or, in parts of Australia, I guess he's okay. But, you know, it's a cat and mouse game that he plays. So I don't necessarily support him, right? I'm not going to say that I support the guy. He's not like someone that I'm going to go out on a limb for. But you know, I do understand what he's saying and where he's coming from, and so he is a freedom of speech advocate from what I gather. But the point that I even bring him up is that he does this thing every year called the Cannonball or the Gumball Run or something like that, and they use their fancy sports card and they go around. I guess they used to go around Europe. And I don't know to what extent that he comes outside of New Zealand. I believe he's a German national or German citizen to start. So he's got a lot of ties to Germany and Europe. And so seems as if he stays in Germany, then he's, you know, somewhat okay. But when he comes out of there, he goes to, you know, parts throughout the world and other places where the long arm of the law can actually reach out and touch him. That's when he has some issues. And so, so Hong Kong, things like that, like had some servers set up around the country. And because of the fact that there was some copywritten material on their servers, it caused major headaches for him. So much to this day that he's still going through, from what I gather, some kind of court proceedings where the United States government still wants to, I guess, either sue this guy or bring him back to the States and put him on trial, right? And I don't know. There's a lot of like freedom of speech undertones to his court case. I don't know if will it ever get resolved? Will they ever just come around and throw him in the back of a car or you know, boat or plane or train or whatever it has to be and bring him back to the United States to stand trial for you know, his alleged crimes? I do not know. But the thing I do know is that, you know, he had some major problems. I mean, they even reported on the news that they found him in his safe room, like hiding and stuff, made him look like he was, you know, shivering and shaking. whenever they send people, and now listen, the way I read the story was that they sent the Phoebe after him with helicopters and all that, right? You see the blue lights I got to go through here? I can't still. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Is that not crazy? These weren't here a few months ago. That bluish, all this here, this is all brand new, man. This is all brand new. This was not here. I don't know. I have to go back and check my video, but just a few videos ago, there was none of this blue light coming through. And now, I mean, as pretty as it may be, it looks all nice and stuff on camera, but I have to question why. Like, what is it there for? What purpose does that serve? We have some speculations. There's other people on the internet that you can listen to that will tell you exactly what they believe is the reason for, or as to why. Why some gas stations do it and others don't? Are they all trending in this direction? It sure seems that way. They're all trending in that direction. And how long until everything is like that? What's the necessity? What is the motivation and the drive? Sure, I do not know the full extent of the story. But anyway, so how are you all doing this evening, huh? Groovy? Good, good. So we're heading to get some Wawa. Again, the reason I bring up Kim.com is because he did this thing called Gumball Run or Cannonball Run or something to that effect. And they go and they race around Europe, race around wherever, and going at these really, it's high speeds, I guess you could say. It's pretty cool if you've ever sat back and watched it. You get to see a lot of Germany, or the European nations there, the EU, and it's some kind of like race, right? It's some form of a race, and it seems to be, it seems cool, right? You have a really nice car, fast car. It might be something that some people would be drawn to. But yeah, he got into that years ago, I suppose. I don't know how long ago he entered his first one, but he used to do it quite often and make videos about it. Now I don't know that he does, because I'm not sure that he can. It might be dangerous for him to do such a thing. I mean, if they can watch you on YouTube and whatnot, I don't know. It's not as simplified now as just going, let's go get a cup of coffee. A lot more involved. So speaking of Mary Awful and all that, I wonder if any of these other gangs, I shouldn't say gangs, but I was going to say gang members, but I don't know if they're gang members, but part of, like, so to speak, right? Like, will these other characters, do they race in it still? I don't know. But it was like a who's who of the rich and famous type deal with nice cars, essentially is what it was. And his name always, like, comes up, or I always think of him when I think of this thing, or when I think of him, I think of this Gumball Run or Cannonball Run or whatever. I got to look again to see exactly what they phrased it, what they coined it. But it's cool. As far as his charges or whatever, his alleged charges, or his what he's facing, like, again, he may have already cleared it up. I know they took his money at one point, and there were, he had lawyers, and one of the judges or a couple of judges let him have some of his money back, and so they did give him some of it back. But I think that he's still probably being, for the most part, I don't think the whole thing has been refunded to him, so to speak. Okay, so anyway, so we're doing our own little run. We're not speeding or anything, right? We're not doing a Cannonball Run. We're doing a Wawa run. I know you guys like the Wawa, and you like the Wawa runs, and I know there's some people that have never been to a Wawa, so it seems like Wawa has been a pretty popular deal. What I should do is do it on FomoTV, but again, this is more like the channel for IRL. Now, if we go down to, if we end up going down to Bike Week this weekend, because I believe it's Saturday, that I will do on the other channel on FomoTV, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you're not already following and you've stumbled across this channel, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on. Make sure you have YouTube notifications on, like for the greater good. Because if you don't have YouTube notifications on, not only will you not get notified when I go live, you won't get notified when anybody goes live that you have subscriptions turned on and notifications turned on, right? That could be a problem why some people aren't getting notified. I was looking at some of the numbers, and it's like, you know, a good majority of people, it was like 40% of people who turn or subscribe to the channel, they turn notifications on, but yet they're not getting notified. And that's because an even lesser percentage of people, or maybe it was more, about the same, I don't know, but they had not turned on notifications for YouTube. So, I mean, you can turn notifications on for the channel, but if you don't have YouTube notifications turned on, you're dead. You're dead in the water, and you won't be notified when anybody goes live. So we want to make sure you're getting that. You can also subscribe to Rumble. Rumble is FomoTV as well. That's one of the places that I've noticed that no matter what, come hell or high water, they most certainly send out notifications. I get notifications for everybody, I even get them for myself. So does Mrs. Fomo, so does some other people. Oh, they got some activity going on up here too. Police activity. I'm not going to do one of these audit things. I don't do audits, right? The only time I would ever do an audit is if it's my own, right? Like if something happens to me, yeah, I would definitely want to turn the camera. I got screwed so hard. That was just recently. Let's go ahead and put the headset on. And we're starving. Can you hear me? Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. It's private chat. Let's see if we just have the chat. Let's see. Camera. Okay. Okay. So we got a couple things to do. And we're going to get a sub. Just like last week, I'm starving. I waited all day for this. Got a lot of stuff. Hungry. I wish I could do something like go play poker or something, you know. It's an awesome night to do stuff like that, but not really on Wednesdays. You don't get a lot of fish. It's mainly the sharks are all up in there if you go on a Wednesday night. So you really want to wait until you want to go on a night when there's a lot of sharks. I mean, not sharks, when there's fish up there, so to speak. All right, so give me 1 second here, y'all. Give me 1 moment. Okay. Yeah, it's famine at this point, man. My ribs are touching. I really need this pulse chain to launch. Like, it's not so much so I could sell, but I just want to get the process going, man. We ain't never gonna get the process going at this rate. I don't know what Richard Hart's doing. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna go cold hoagie, no toast, roast is beast, classic. Wifey never said what she wanted. She was all being mean. I don't know why? Lettuce, tomato, sweet peppers. I love it. Toppings on the side. More sweet peppers. Next, salt, pepper. Next, next, and I think that's what we'll do for now. I really don't have the money. I'm gonna try and be cheap tonight. Not cheap, but frugal, you know. No, just that. Print my order. Hopefully, let me see. Hey, can I ask you a favor, Jessica? Can I ask you a favor? When you make this one, $9.58, it's a roast beef. Can you put the sweet peppers on it and on the side, please? I love those things. I can't get enough. Thank you. Okay, so they hooked me up last time. Yo, you ever use them sweet peppers? If you ever come to Wawa, they got these sweet peppers. You do them with eggs. Oh my God, they're phenomenal, man. Sweet peppers, and you make like scrambled eggs. So good. All right, so I need ice. Oh, too much icy. Too much icy. Seems like a waste. I didn't mean to do that. What do we choose here? You see all the things you get here? Like, call me a Hebrew, but I don't get out of the house much, I guess. I don't know. What do they got? I like cream soda. We're just going to go with the cream. Last time I liked the strawberry cream. It's a pretty fantastic machine, to be honest. Look, it doesn't even spill nothing. Mm. Yum. All right, where's all my Wawa heads at, man? Nobody came on tonight. I guess I took a couple days off. I said I was going to have to go dark, and I did. I'll explain that at a later date, but I know the Freedom Council wasn't too happy with that, but it's just what I have to do sometimes, guys. You know, it's you know, I would love to be able to do full-time FOMO, you know, all the time, but I can't. All right. Hi there. $9.88. Thank you. Thank you. You too. I had a conversation tonight with one of the elders in the tribe, and was talking about how important Bitcoin is, and I still think that the older generation just doesn't get it. They're stuck on the fact that it can be manipulated. I mean, it can be manipulated. Stocks can be manipulated. Everything can be manipulated. I'm kind of disappointed that nobody jumped on the stream. We might have to end the stream, try to pick it up later or something. I don't know. I don't see nobody saying 5x5 or anything. So, yeah. I was going to talk about Jekyl Island. I did a deep dive on Jekyl Island. You guys don't know about the monster from Jekyl Island? It's pretty interesting. It's something you should look into. I have a great documentary about it made in 2013, and explains what I thought it was like a story, like a fictional story. It turns out it's nonfiction. It really happened, and the monster of Jekyl Island is nothing what you would think. I thought it was some kind of like literally like a monster. It is a monster, but I thought of it like not a monster, but like some kind of like character or a cartoon, or maybe they made some kind of, I don't know, like a sea monster or something. But it turns out it's the Federal Reserve. And man, what a freaking! I read the book. I've read like 100 pages out of the book too. So I watched a 2-hour documentary and really educated myself on the Federal Reserve. It's very, very fascinating. I strongly recommend, if you've never looked into Jekyl Island or the monster from Jekyl Island, you do that. And I'll talk about it, but I need people on here to do it. I don't want to waste my breath. So maybe we'll do this on the other channel at some point. Not tonight. I don't know. I'm going to knock down the stream for now, since it seems like no one really came through. We could just, like a lot of you guys from FomoTV, you're not on this channel, and you should be, because this is where I do a lot of the IRLs. If you just want to come in and hang out, maybe that's the problem. You guys don't like this. Seems like when y'all show up, it's fun, but I don't know why. Didn't see anybody tonight. Need to get more people back over here. We used to be able to bring in like, you know, a few people. Like we had like a dozen or more for a while, and then I just don't use it that often, so maybe that's what it is. But I'll remind everybody on FomoTV to make sure you're coming on over here. Look, they got bullseye now. I never seen these before. What is that, like jalapeno?
These are the best though. These voodoo chips. Oh my god. I know it's so blasphemous, but oh god, they're so delicious. It's like an everything. If you ever had an everything, it's like barbecue with sour cream. No, I'm sorry, barbecue with salt and vinegar, like mixed. It's like a deluxe type of chip. It's really, really delicious. I can't tell you how good they are, but they're not worth like whatever they're charging for these things. They're just not worth the money to me. I don't know how much, but they're very expensive, so I just won't partake. All right, let me get my sandwich and stuff, and I'll probably go back live in a little while. If not, I'll catch you guys tomorrow, I think, Thursday night on FomoTV. So if you're catching on this and I don't come back on live, be sure you're following over on FomoTV, okay? We'll be on about 7:30. Well, maybe 9 o'clock tomorrow. We'll probably shoot for like 9:15, all right? Join the Telegram for more updates and Twitter. You can find everything on the Linktree. Go to Linktree now. Follow on Linktree in case anything changes. You could always find me on Linktree and find out where I'm at, where I'm hanging out after hours and whatnot. All right, guys. Peace.